Katie, Elliot, and then Papa. Okay. So the third question is, when, if ever, do you believe that it's appropriate to suspend the bylaws? Do you believe it was appropriate to suspend the bylaws last week? If so, why? If not, why not?
I only believe it's appropriate to suspend the bylaws when they're infringing on things like free speech. The bylaws should not be competing with our own rights from the First Amendment and our rights as citizens of the United States. The bylaws should be facilitating a fair campaign and not infringing on our rights to get our message across and campaign for our fellow slate candidates. So, yeah, there was some controversy over the temporary laws with this election. I am glad that we were allowed to eventually use our funding to advocate for both of our campaigns for both Senate and executive positions. So I do think there should be more review in the future of the bylaws so that there isn't as much controversy. Yeah.
Woo! So, I think you're referring to the polling station and how we had to suspend the bylaws because the election council chair wanted to put 6 polling stations around when the bylaws specify 8. However, I think we should not suspend the bylaws when it is for partisan gain and when it's motivated by political parties that end up dividing the student government. So I think the bylaws are very lengthy over the years. We add more to them than we subtract what isn't working. For example, the advocacy agenda doesn't actually happen in the ASUC every year. So that's a shame. I think we should really reconsider that and amend the bylaws. I also think that you should not suspend the bylaws unless you should not suspend the bylaws in a compromise that ends up hurting students. That, like, for example, the polling stations cost $1,000 to put a polling station by Echeverria, which is off-campus, isolated, and clearly benefits a party with a constituency by that building. So to have a party that pushes for this, I think is unjustifiable. And I wouldn't stand for it as EVP. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
As my own words would never surpass the Queen, I'm finished speaking.
Does anyone like to give 1 minute closing statements?
I do.
Okay. Katie, raise your hand first.
Okay, so I'd like to reiterate our party platform. We need to start a mass integrated student movement on campus with the leadership of the ASUC to fight for education, stop the budget cuts, no matter who is imposing them, Democrat or Republican. We need to advocate for passage of the DREAM Act so that all students in California, everyone who lives and works here, has a fair chance of coming and actually getting the world-class education that they earn. And also doubling minority student enrollment, because I don't think it's a question that they're underrepresented, whether they be Black, Hispanic, Asian Pacific Islander. We need to address this problem to have true public education in California.
Yes!
So I'm Elliot Goldstein. I'm running for EVP. But why does that even matter? I mean, the ASUC is one of the smallest funded ASUCs out there. We have so many limitations. I commend everything you said, but the EVP's power doesn't extend to actually doing any of that. I think the ASUC actually can be really a relevant body on campus if we didn't have the games that we're playing at this debate right now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really disappointed that we weren't actually able to address democratic dialogue here. And I think that, the ASUC's major thing is that it's independent, it's a 501c3. It can take policy stances against the university. Right now, you're so right, the university is being dismantled. The last thing was that, we're getting down to the core services. What are those? What are our priorities? The ASUC should be part of that.
Stop playing games!
I'm good.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for